Klopp threatens to quit the League Cup. Ramos equals a Messi record. Rashford is Ronaldo-like. We've got a transfer roundup and the Onefootball Power Rankings all coming up in the next few minutes. As I'm your host, Matt Froelich, here with the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, and to last night's footballing action where Jurgen Klopp has threatened to quit the League Cup should the scheduling just provide too much. This after he watched his side beat Arsenal on penalties. After the 5-5 draw, Liverpool won 5-4 on penalties, meaning they've set up a tie with Aston Villa. However, the week that the quarter-final is due to be played is also the same week that Jurgen Klopp takes his Liverpool side to Qatar to compete in the Club World Championship. Obviously, the League Cup is a bit less important because, well, they're going to be playing that every single year. It's not every year that the Club World Championship comes around. So he said that they might have to just forfeit or maybe let Arsenal go through instead and play Aston Villa. As for the game on the night, it was an absolute goal fest with just some magical strikes. First off, there was Ozil's brilliance. Ozil back in the Arsenal team. I know, right? Crazy. Ozil's brilliance to see flick the ball just back in to allow Maitland-Niles to tap in. There was a screamer from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain against his old club. Joe Willock replied with a beauty before Divock Origi pulled off a crouch-esque bicycle kick in the last minute to take the game to penalties. Unfortunately, Dani Ceballos was the one who missed, but it does leave rather a few topics to talk about, especially from Arsenal's side. Now, they had a pretty solid, internationally experienced defence. They had Kolasinac, Holding, Mustafi, who scored no goal, and Hector Bellerin. They should be doing better than conceding 5 against a team made up mainly of Liverpool youngsters. Yes, I know loads of you are going to say, what about Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Origi, Milner? That was about it. Oh, and Keita, but he got injured. Liverpool had a lot of youngsters on the field, and for Arsenal to concede 5, especially with their kind of team, that's a little bit worrying. But forgetting about the negatives, onto the positive for both Unai Emery and Jurgen Klopp. Both of their young teams put on some fantastic attacking displays, and it's really something good to look forward to in the future, especially the form of Martinelli, the Arsenal striker, who is banging goals in the Europa League and the League Cup, and I've no doubt he'll be doing so very soon in the Premier League as well. So moving on to La Liga, and after Barcelona put 5 past Valladolid on Tuesday, Real Madrid did the same without conceding a goal against Leganés last night. This game included a wonderful performance from Karim Benzema, a first goal for Real Madrid for Luka Jovic, and Sergio Ramos equaling a ridiculous record. He is now only the second player behind Lionel Messi to score in 16 consecutive La Liga seasons. 16! And he's a defender. He has 64 goals in the competition overall. That's 2 with Sevilla and the other 62 with Real Madrid. And it's just unbelievable because he's 33 and he's probably got a few years left in him to extend that record. So as mentioned with that, Luka Jovic did get his first goal for Real Madrid, and it's proving to be finally a little bit of relief in what's been a terrible start to his career at the Bernabeu. He was injured in pre-season, followed by the fact the rumours he was going to leave the club on loan because Zidane wasn't too happy with him, and basically he hasn't had much time to play because Karim Benzema's been in pretty good form. I can't see both of them playing together up front. It's got to be an either or with 2 wingers either side of them. So Luka Jovic may have to bide his time until Benzema leaves, retires, or just takes a general dip in form. What it does show last night is that when called upon, he can put the ball in the back of the net. He just needs a bit more confidence and a few more minutes to get there. So back to last night's action, and talking of unbelievable goals, Marcus Rashford take a bow. Rashford coolly slid home a penalty. Batshuayi smashed in a fantastic equaliser before Marcus Rashford pulled off something Cristiano Ronaldo-esque. That's not me saying that, that's Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He would know, he did play alongside Cristiano Ronaldo for a few years. Rashford's free kick was full on 30 to 35 yards out. I'm not quite sure what Willy Caballero was doing in his positioning, but it flew over the Argentine keeper into the back of the net and gives Manchester United a 2-1 victory. They, as a reward, now host Colchester in the quarter-finals. As to whether or not Rashford can really be the shine light of Manchester United's season, well, he seems to be a bit hot and cold and only really does it in the big games. He now has 4 goals against Chelsea, which is the most he's got against any other team in the Premier League. What it does mean, though, is that Solskjaer faced a bit of a dilemma as Anthony Martial was talking about his form recently and said that he's focused on playing the central forward striker role. But so is Rashford. Neither of them clearly want to be on the wing, and Manchester United don't play with 2 forwards. So it's going to be a little bit of a difficult decision in the upcoming months for the manager. Elsewhere though, the League Cup victories for Manchester City, Everton, Leicester and Oxford, obviously see them play against each other, as Oxford host Man City and Everton will do battle with Brendan Rodgers' Leicester. So next time we come to a quick roundup of the rest of the day's daily news, where Marco Verratti has signed an extension on his PSG contract until 2024. AC Milan are looking at Liverpool's Dejan Lovren again. Mauricio Pochettino Torino is on the list of Bayern Munich should they want to replace Niko Kovac, and Perth Glory in the A-League have said they're interested in the signing Zlatan Ibrahimovic, if only just for a few games. So now, of course, we come to the Onefootball Power Rankings. Every single Thursday, we have a look and see who is performing the best in Europe's top 5 leagues. What we do, for those of you who don't know, is you look at over 100 players from the top 5 leagues, take into account their league and their European performance, so not the League Cup from last night or any other cup competition, and basically compile them into some sort of list with the help of our Onefootball supercomputer. As for who's in at numbers 10 to 6, well, let's take a quick look. So here is the top 10 to 6, including some fantastic Leicester midfielders after their recent form. 2 of Europe's hottest strikers show they've still got it, and Kylian Mbappe very nearly made the top 5. So next we come to the top 5, and it's Robert Lewandowski who sits in the number 5 spot. He's down 1 point from last week. He did score at the weekend to mean he becomes the first Bundesliga player to score in all 9 of the opening games of the season, but he didn't quite do much else apart from that, so he's dropped down 1 spot. Not necessarily his fault, just the other 4 have been unbelievable. Starting with our 4th place player. This is Jamie Vardy, yet another Leicester player after their fantastic performance, in his hat-trick on Friday night means that he now has 6 goals in his last 4 games and shoots straight into number 4. Number 3 is Raheem Sterling, last week's winner actually, down 2 spots. As mentioned, he did bag a goal against Aston Villa and he did have a pretty good game, but that's not quite enough compared to what the top 2 have done, so Raheem Sterling sits in at number 3. Now finally we come to the last 2, and you guys know how it goes. You make a case for both before revealing who is the winner. As mentioned, Raheem Sterling's off the top spot, so we've got 2 contenders. First off is last week's number 2, Angel Di Maria. As if last week's performances wasn't enough, he then followed it up at the weekend with another 2 assists as PSG swept Marseille aside 4-0. Some unbelievable form, really showing that he is one of the best and most consistent players in Liga at the moment. He now has 5 assists and 2 goals in his last 3 games. Rivaling Di Maria is Lionel Messi. In the last 5 games, he's got 5 goals, 4 assists and 5 Man of the Match awards. He's been in unbelievable form, taking Barcelona back to the top of the table, and have put on a scintillating display against Valladolid with 2 goals, 2 assists and a couple of cheeky nutmegs to boot. So with that said and done, it's now time to reveal the winner between Di Maria and Lionel Messi, and of course it goes to an Argentinian. Making you wait a little bit longer, it's Lionel Messi. He's been in some brilliant form, as I mentioned, and it will take something to knock him off top spot next week. So there you have it. There is the Onefootball Power Rankings. Let me know your thoughts, though, about who should have been in there and who should have been knocked down a few pegs. You can also let me know what you think about the rest of today's daily news in the comment section. Click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.